What is going on, everyone? The stock market is heating back up again, which is exactly what you want to hear for short-term trading. In today's episode, we have a lot of great setups for tomorrow. We have a lot of big news as well, especially with Tesla, as they finally did some of their deliveries for their Cybertruck. We have a lot of updates there. On top of that, we have the man, the myth, the legend, Jerome Powell speaking tomorrow, and towards the end of today's video, we have a $1 million trade you won't want to miss, but the market's heating back up again, and this is a very good sign. So with that being said, Tom, let's get right into today's episode.
Yeah, I was actually really surprised. Towards the end of the day, that stock market took a huge run back to the upside and actually retested highs of this morning, almost double topping right around 456.75. So be really mindful of that resistance tomorrow. Also right around 456.30. Everywhere between there, it's been kind of bouncing at. But the big news and the big event today was that Tesla Cybertruck event, Mike. We've been talking about it for a couple days now. And man, the event... I'll say this, it was a pretty short one overall, but it was a very successful event in my opinion. So he unveiled the Cybertruck, he talked a lot about it, and we actually now officially have pricing. But there was a lot of cool things that happened here with this truck, Mike. I mean, it was nuts. It actually beat a Porsche 911 in a drag race while it was racing the Porsche 911. So guys, check this out really quick. This is awesome.
But wait, there's more.
That really blew people away today, guys. The way that it could beat that Porsche 911 while towing one was insane, and it's actually bulletproof as well. You can see here in this video, they are shooting it with a Tommy gun and 9mm pistols, and it is just bouncing off the side of this truck. Let's see the Tommy gun shooting it at full auto, because that's kind of like the icing on the cake. He kept talking about Al Capone. It couldn't get you in this truck. They better not shoot the windows, though, I'll say. But, Mike, this was one hell of an event, and we even have some good pricing with the Tesla truck, too. The pricing's out on the website.
Finally, right? But yeah, the cheapest Cybertruck will cost around 61 grand, and then after savings, it does go down to around 50 grand, and then the most expensive one will be around 100,000. So either way, you know, there definitely were some price increases, but it definitely wasn't like too crazy. But either way, I think this whole situation will be very, very exciting for Tesla going forward. Elon is pumped about this product release, and he says it will be the biggest product launch of anything by far on Earth this year. On top of that, there's, you know, some people who love it, there's some people who hate it, but of course there's a bunch of hype with it. And while that's great, it's still not all sunshine and rainbows, because Elon said himself there's a lot of work they have to do to get to high volume production with the Cybertruck. But either way, cool stuff.
Yeah, and you know, Mike, I was really hoping that this would help Tesla's stock a little bit, maybe in the short term, but it looks like it's actually moving down a little bit after this event, and I know that that's going to maybe throw some people off, right? Hey, if the event was so cool and this truck so groundbreaking, why is the stock falling? Mike, I don't know about you, but one thing that I would like to talk about really quick is that pricing again. I feel like that, honestly, these are pretty low prices. It's hard to even find a brand new Ford truck less than 50 grand. So I don't know, Mike. These seem a little bit underpriced to me. I don't know about you. I know that it's expensive, but man, trucks are already expensive.
Yeah, they kind of get you on the estimated savings, because like they say probable savings, the cheapest version will cost you 50 grand, but then the actual purchase price is 61 grand as well. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely not like cheap, but it's not like crazy expensive either. I think Tesla's really just trying to sell these in high volume. But either way, looking more at Tesla stock, you know, like you said, it is down today, and you know, while all this stuff is cool and exciting, it wasn't as exciting enough to like wow investors. Everyone has been waiting to hear the information that we heard today for a very long time. And, it's just, the hype is not enough to bring the stock higher. So until Tesla like really starts to move with some hype, there isn't necessarily like a short-term play with this event.
Yeah, I feel like that too. And, honestly, Mike, it almost seems like a good play for puts. I don't know. Sometimes these Tesla events end up going to the downside a little bit. I'll be eyeing it up tomorrow, maybe for like some quick intraday moves or something. But I'll be real with you, Mike. That overall market was pretty crazy how it ran up end of day and had that big double top. Every time I feel like the market's finally starting a downtrend here, it keeps back with the resiliency and continues to prove me wrong.
Exactly, right? But on a different note, the overall market is it held strong today. It closed up slightly in the green, and this happened as we have Jerome Powell set to speak tomorrow. And while it's not a crazy interest rate event or anything like that, Tom, fill us in on what we need to know about.
Yeah, so he's going to be having a conversation with Spelman College president Helen Gale. So it's going to be like a fireside chat, they're saying. So I don't know exactly how impactful this is going to be on the economy, but I will say, Mike, there's been a lot of protesters lately, so I'll be watching it. Maybe there'll be something like that going on there. I have no idea, but I hope that Powell's okay after this.
I hope they close the door this time. No, just keep it closed this time. Don't even open it. But yeah, be aware for that. But on another note, there was some other information today that I saw with the M2 money supply, and it goes to show that how over the past 2 years, the decrease in the M2 money supply is the greatest decrease that we've seen ever. And basically what this means is, as we all know, during the pandemic, the government just printed money left and right, and since that point, they've been vacuuming, taking some of that money back, right? And with that has come just stagnation. When we look at the stock market, the market has done nothing for 2 years. It's literally at the same point that it was 2 years ago, towards the end of 2021, and it's still lower than its peak at, you could say, the beginning of 2022. So the money vacuums have been on pretty strong over the past 2 years, and I hate to break it to you, but they're not necessarily expected to turn off anytime soon. And that just goes to show you, it's like when you have like the largest economy in the world kind of in a tightening mode, it makes it a lot harder to see sustained rallies and just like, complete euphoria like we saw since 2020.
Yeah, and Mike, like when I first saw this, my first thought was, you know what, the market's done great lately. All these stocks, like let's go look at Nvidia. It's up like 500% or something. It's insane, right? But we go over to the overall market, and then we go, we zoom out a little bit. Not even up to that high from a couple years ago. You're right. It's just been like stagnation. And a lot of people talk about double tops. I mean, man, what if the market ends up double topping up here? That would be a pretty bad thing for 2024. So, we have to watch this very closely as the SPY hits towards these resistances, because if we don't get a clear break up through here and that market isn't super resilient, and I'll be honest, with the way the Feds have been trying to constrict the economy, I would think that, the market could pull back a little bit. So I'm kind of on like a macro level, whenever you zoom out, just like waiting for that big pullback to come in. And I'm not saying it's going to go down like 50%, but another solid pullback, kind of like we saw in 2022.
I mean, just look at the market over like the past month or so. SPY went from 410 all the way up to like almost 460. It's like, by any measurable way, this is overbought. You know what I mean? And it's like, you can stay overbought for extended periods of time, but it's like when you have a move that much that quickly in something as large as the S&P 500, it's hard to keep that level of momentum rolling. So I can definitely see either a period of stagnation and or a pullback very soon. But with that being said, let's start to get into some fun stuff for today, which are some setups. Let's look at some actual tradable setups for tomorrow. And one stock specifically that I'm watching is MU, and it's to the downside. So if the market does end up pulling back, I think MU can see like a pretty decent pullback as well. either way, it has had a very wild week, and it did show some weakness today, even with the overall market running. But if we see like a break below that like $74.50 level, I think this can make for a pretty good day trade to the downside for tomorrow. And, the more momentum the more the overall market is falling as well, that'll just make it a lot easier for this one to fall. So either way, I'm watching this one to the downside pretty closely tomorrow.
Yeah, I like MU. It's a chip stock, and we saw MRVL report tonight, so I wonder how MU will be looking tomorrow morning, but I'll definitely keep that support on the radar, Mike. With my first play, I'm actually going with Boeing today. Man, Boeing had one hell of a run, up 3.2%. I had to mention this one. It's on a killer right now, Mike, and as it's running, it actually broke recent resistance on the daily that I thought it would slow down towards around 230. So if we stay above that tomorrow, and then we can get back above that high of day today, I'll be looking for that secondary run, and over the next couple of weeks, maybe up towards 240 to 242 again, where it hit recently with that high earlier in August. So I'll be watching Boeing tomorrow, Mike. It had one hell of a day.
There we go. Yeah, it was really running today. It's not every day you see Boeing run with this level of momentum, and especially over the past couple of years, it's been kind of rare.
I know, right? Especially like with COVID, they've just been stuck down in this channel for a long time. So maybe this will finally be where them and even some of these airlines start moving up. I've noticed even like Southwest is still doing good.
All right, there we go. On another note, another stock I'm watching pretty closely is Zoom, and it's to the upside. So this one, over the past couple of weeks, has really been starting to get some bullish inflows, you can say. Earlier this week, it did great on Tuesday, and I think it has more upside potential going into tomorrow and even next week. It would be great to see a breakout right above like $69 and I don't know, you could say like 10 cents or so. If it breaks above that level with some good volume, I think this one can definitely run. And of course, any positive news that goes along with that can really help out. And what I really like about this one is as we look at the overall market, it's kind of all over the place. And Zoom is a stock that doesn't really care what the overall market does. It has basically no correlation to the overall market, which is great, especially in this current environment.
I love Zoom right now, Mike. I'm loving this setup here. It's starting to break a long-term like wedge and trend line to the upside right now. So I love it. Today, it actually fell down a little bit, confirmed off that trend line. If we start to see some green tomorrow, I'll be honest, this will probably be my favorite setup. I have an alert set up right around that 69.10 mark that you mentioned. So I'll be alerted, guys. Set up an alert tomorrow on Zoom. I think that's going to be one of the funnest stocks out there. Mike, I'm going with CCJ on my next play, and I'm looking at the uranium plays. They started coming up today. Them, UEC, UUUU, continued up to a new high again. I can't believe it. That just keeps going. It just broke that recent high, so I'll be watching for that continuation and push up. Now, keep in mind, I'm not saying to buy shares of CCJ and hold it like I would with, Disney or something like that. This is definitely a shorter term play with how overextended it is in the short term.
All right, there we go. Well, with that being said, let's get right into the momentum plays for tomorrow. And with the first one, we have none other than SLV to the upside.
Oh, gosh, Mike, who would have guessed, right? But hey, it did good again today. Love to see it. Hopefully it can break above like 23.20 tomorrow, just above that high in after hours.
All right, with the next one, we have NVIDIA to the downside.
Yeah, NVIDIA had a bad day, and they did not recover up. The overall market had a great pop end of day, but a lot of these tech stocks actually stayed down. So if NVIDIA can break below 464, then look at puts.
All right, and now with the last one, we have Apple for both directions.
Yeah, Apple did come back a little bit. So if they can break back above 190.30, that high right around open this morning, then look at calls. Now, if they end up falling back under 189, then I think you could be looking at puts.
All right, so we have that downside level for puts, and we have the upside level for calls. Keep a close eye on Apple going into tomorrow, and then don't forget about NVIDIA with that downside level for puts, and then SLV with the upside level for calls. Again, these trades are only day trades, and only if they break the levels Tom listed. But with that being said, Tom, let's get right into today's $1 million big money trade of the day. And today we are looking at ticker symbol IOVA. So this is a pretty crazy biotherapeutics company. And for those of you who don't know, these stocks move a ton based off of news and drug approvals and things like that, like treatments they come up with. And basically today we saw someone bet basically $1 million that this stock will rise going forward. More specifically, they bought the $7.50 strike call options and they shorted the 15 strike call options, both of which expire on March 15th of 2024. I know it sounds complicated, but long story short, they're betting that this stock will go up. This is a call debit spread, and if you want to make your life easy, you can just follow the $7.50 strike call options for March 15th of 2024. But with everything being said, I think it's a pretty decent setup. It's a high risk, high reward setup due to the nature of this stock. Any biotherapeutics or biotechnology stock moves a ton in both directions because basically, like when they have like treatments and FDA approvals, that can kind of like make or break the company. And on top of that, there's just a lot of hype and fear and just craziness just like involved in these stocks as a whole. So either way, whenever you see a big money $1 million trade like this, I guarantee you it's not by random chance, and a lot of times these trades are entered because an insider knows something or, any reason like that. But either way, I will definitely have a close eye on this one going forward.
Man, this stock has really been ripping up lately. This has had some really good movement in the short term. There's definitely buyers starting to flood in here on this uptrend. So I'll keep my eyes on it, Mike. Like you said, these pharma stocks can have some huge runs, and we've seen a lot of big money plays in the past on these types of smaller pharma stocks, or not even, I don't want to say small, but lower priced pharma stocks that end up really exploding. I mean, it's already up like almost 100% here, if not at the high, maybe over 100% over the past couple months. So I'll be watching it really closely, Mike. It's one of those like penny stocks that has the potential to have a big rip.
Exactly. So either way, keep a close eye on it going forward. But, with everything being said, the market is definitely heating up now, which is a great thing. It has been pretty slow lately, but whenever we see some good moves, there are more than enough opportunities to go around. So I'm pretty excited. And what are your thoughts, Tom?
Yeah, one weird thing today is that, like, the tech stocks didn't do as good. At the end of the day, QQQ didn't even reach its high this morning again, didn't even come close, whereas the SPY got all the way back up there. We saw a lot of different parts of the market hold up, like banks and a few other sectors. So I thought that was interesting today, even given that, like, NVIDIA, had a pretty rough day overall. So going into tomorrow, I think that some of these momentum plays that we talked about will be very important, like NVIDIA. I really like Boeing. I love your Zoom play, Mike. That's probably my favorite setup heading into tomorrow. So let's try to capitalize off those guys. And if you do, make sure you hit us up in Discord and let us know where you got the trades from.
Yeah, let's make tomorrow a great one, right? Let's end the week on a strong note. And last but not least, if you guys are not already in the Stocked Up trading floor, definitely check it out. It's the first link in the description in the comments down below. Our bots had a hell of a day today. SniperBot called out some AMD put options at $85 each. They popped all the way up to $260 each. And basically between SniperBot, HybridBot, SMBot, SurgeBot, and all of our other bots, there are more than enough opportunities to go around on any given day. SurgeBot did great with some Meta puts, Google puts, NVIDIA puts, Boeing call options as well. Looking at the profits channel for today, we could see SMBot called out over 400% with NVIDIA, over 300% with Meta, and then another 300% with Boeing. So if you're not already in the trading floor, check it out. It's that first link in the description in the comments down below. In addition to having access to all of our bots, you will also get access to our live weekly events, which we just had yesterday. These live events have been amazing. We answer your questions sessions live, and it's just a great time all around. On top of that, you know, it just gets better. You get access to these multi-million-dollar big money trades that we talk about in each video, but you get access to them before the market closes. And a lot of times you can get better entries doing that. So with everything being said, the Stocked Up trading floor is the place to be, and it's that first link in the description and the comments down below. But thank you guys so much for watching, and let's make tomorrow a great one.